Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the webinar, BELBIN for Leadership. Could I request all of you to mute your mobiles or the phones so that we can have a good, short, engaging webinar. My name is Ravi and I head CERT Team Development India, the Regional Representative India for BELBIN Associates. Over the next 30 to 40 minutes, I'm going to take you through an exciting journey of BELBIN team roles and the application of BELBIN for leadership. This is the first in the BELBIN Knowledge Series where we're going to demonstrate the power of BELBIN for different ways of application in organizations to get the best out of people, to help improve the performance of people. I'll make this short webinar a bit interactive, and I might ask you a question, and I would request you at that point of time to send in your answers through the chat box. All right, let's begin BELBIN for Leadership, BELBIN Knowledge Series. An interesting question. Do you want to get the best out of people you lead? Isn't it obvious? Probably some of you might be even thinking, hey, what a silly question is this? Of course I want to get the best out of the people I lead. Life will be wonderful if we always get best people who are already there in the marketplace, and all I have to do is to have them with me around me. But a great leadership is also to get the best out of people that we lead. So I'm sure all of you want to get the best out of people you lead. And how can we do that in a nice way, in an engaging way, in a thoughtful way, in a mindful way? And that's where the power of BELBIN team roles applies. It will be a two-part webinar. Part one, I'm going to give you some nice fundamentals of BELBIN team roles, and this part one will be common for every part of the knowledge series, and the part two will be a tangible application of BELBIN team roles. So let's look at part one, BELBIN team roles. That's Dr. Meredith BELBIN, who incidentally just completed his 90th birthday, very active man still, worked out of Cambridge. I've had some lovely moments of spending time with Dr. BELBIN over the last 10 to 12 years. Meredith, in my opinion, created a path-making discovery which is really very valuable in the realm of human behavior. And something which is affable, something which is practicable, something which is, how do you use the word, simple, because simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. And BELBIN can change the way you think, you live, you work, or you actually engage yourself in anything in the world. So what is this theory, concept, application of Dr. BELBIN's team role? There are two roles we all play in our lives, for every one of us. It's a functional role as one. General manager, human resources, a human resource executive, sales manager. So these are all the functional roles we play in our organizations. These functional roles keep changing, should change, ought to change, because that's part of the growth of an individual in terms of the way he or she is moving in the organization, moving in his career or her career. So that's a functional role. But there's another role, and that's the discovery of Dr. BELBIN, and that is a team role. Functional role and team role. Functional role is position, designation, title, hierarchy, job description. A team role is individual. And when you look at the team role, years of discovery of Meredith, he defined team role in a very lovely way. A tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate with others in a particular way. A tendency. The typical word tendency is inclination, a natural behavior, a natural preference, a tendency to behave. We all behave in a particular way. I don't know whether you've experienced in your life, maybe in a year of college, or maybe in the first job, relatively younger days of life for all of us, and for me as well, many years ago, many moons ago, I would say. Maybe on a Saturday evening or a Friday evening, I go to one of my friends and say that, hey, shall we go for a picture today evening? One guy responds, a good friend of mine, yeah, that's a lovely idea, let's do that. Then suddenly I have a doubt as we are going to the show. Hey, it is 7 o'clock almost. It's Saturday. Will we get tickets? Oh, I don't know. Let's go and see. If we don't get, we'll see another picture, another movie. Or if you don't get anything, we'll probably have a meal or a glass of beer and come out. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Let's have some fun. That's all. There's another colleague of mine, or a friend of mine. I go there on a similar context, Saturday evening, 6:30. Hey, shall we go for a film? Full of enthusiasm. Wait a minute. What's the time now? It's 6:30. What's the day today? Saturday. Saturday evening, 6:30. You think movie theaters are waiting for us with red carpet for us to welcome? Come on. You're not going to get tickets if you go there. If you want to go for a movie on Saturday, when do you think you should have thought about it? Maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Absolutely. That's the way my other friend behaves. But tell me, friends, which friend I'm likely to go and ask for a movie the next time when I want to go for a movie? Most likely the first one. Both behave in a different way to the same question, to the same thought process, to the same stimulus. They're different. But both believe they're actually contributing. If the first person believes he's contributing, oh, Ravi wants to have some fun. Let's go and have some good evening, maybe a picture, maybe a glass of beer, maybe a meal. The second person also thinks he's contributing. This guy, he's not organized. He will go, we won't get a ticket for a good movie, we'll end up seeing a stupid film and going to have a headache. I'm not going to spend $200 to get a headache. I'm going to help him to become a little more organized and planned. He's also believing he's contributing. But who do we think is contributing? From our perspective, from my perspective, most likely the first person. A tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate with others in a particular way. That's what BELBIN defined as a team role. A quick stop. While you're able to hear me clearly, is comfortable, just let me know. A couple of text messages will help me. Are you all comfortable? Can you all hear me nicely? Can you see the screen? Absolutely. Thank you, Karthik. Yes. Anybody else? A couple of more quick. SS, fine, comfortable, no issues?
No issues, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Absolutely fantastic, great. All right, so that's a team role. A tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate with others in a particular way. I mean, we constantly demonstrate our behavior throughout our living life. Some notice it, some don't notice it, but actually most people observe it nicely. So that's a team role. So here's a functional role, and here is a team role. And Meredith's discovery of more than 10 years, 15 years, came out with 9 team roles. There are 9 team roles, and you can see some lovely symbols over there. I'm going to unravel this mystery in a few moments. What are these 9 team roles that Meredith discovered? These 9 team roles can be beautifully bucketed, grouped under 3 buckets or groups. One is action-related team roles, task-related team roles. There are some people who constantly are on the move. They want to keep doing things. Ask them to sit down quietly for some time is almost impossible. They can be fidgety. They get bored if there's no action. They can't quietly read a book. They'll probably go and play outside. So there are action-related team roles. The first one is a guy with a whip in the hand. It's a nice symbolic gesture of profiling this team role. A shaper. What does a shaper do? A shaper is challenging. A shaper is dynamic. A shaper is goal-oriented, has drive and courage. A shaper can set challenging targets. A shaper does not worry about obstacles. A shaper wants to make things happen. A shaper is absolutely goal-driven. There's a flip side to every strength, the price that we pay for having the strength. And that becomes a lovely, beautiful word I've made in BELBIN, a lovable weakness. What is allowable? Everybody has it. It's not a crime to have this weakness. It's not a psychological flaw. It's not a destructive flaw. So it's about an allowable weakness. And what could be an allowable weakness? He is prone to provocation and can be blunt and upset people. Somebody goes to shaper. Boss, I have a little stomach problem today. Can I do this job tomorrow? Wait a minute. As long as there are stomachs, some days will be upset stomachs. Get back to work. I'm just exaggerating to illustrate the point. Prone to provocation can be blunt and upset people. You have a second team role under the task-related implementer. Somebody who is process-driven, disciplined, organized, efficient, turns ideas into action, wants to do things, follows a process, has a checklist of things to do. The flip side, somewhat inflexible, slow to respond to new ideas and approaches. Has a particular part to do, changes out, make it uncomfortable. You have a third team role, which is a lovely team role of a completer finisher. A completer finisher not only wants to do the jobs in a nice way, process way, on time, because timeliness is very important for him, but he also wants to do it absolutely perfectly. He wants it to be immaculately well. Everything should be prim and proper. So, accurate, conscientious, meticulous, perfectionist. Challenge, the flip side, inclined to worry unduly and reluctant to delegate. He's a bit inclined to worry because he wants to do the jobs on time and he also wants to do them immaculately well. Therefore, cannot delegate easily and also a little bit worry. Shaper, implementer, completer, finisher. You can recognize some of your people, your team members. You can see these characteristics. Yeah, I got these guys there. This guy is like this. The second critical element is people-related team roles, team-related tools, social-related team roles. You're the guy on the Facebook, resource investigator, enthusiastic, communicative, explores opportunities, develops contacts. He has a lot of contacts, networked individual. 5:30 in the morning, first 20 minutes must be Facebook. Always on the mobile. His contact list is very large. 2 GB is not enough. Over-optimistic sometimes, easily bored, and can lose interest because he moves from topic to topic. Width is his strength, not depth. That's a team role, resource investigator. You can spot a resource investigator from a mile by the sheer energy and enthusiasm. The guy who is a coordinator. The typical coordinator is somebody who has a capability to remain calm and confident. He knows the priorities of goals well. When people talk of different priorities, he can steer them nicely. He's like holding the steering wheel of the car. Promotes joint decision making. Believes in a bit more of a consensus. Challenge. Sometimes He can be seen as a bit manipulative. Manipulative not in a negative term, but he can make you come along with his ideas in a very subtle, interesting way. You may not even recognize it. And sometimes you wonder, hey, wait a minute, what's the coordinator doing? Because I don't see him doing anything. A lot of people, when they say Western classical music, are even thinking, this guy doesn't have an instrument in his hand, he's not singing either, he's got some two sticks in the hand, and they know what's doing. Coordinator. People related, but with a focus on task, but get the best out of the people he has got, encouraging them. The lubricant in an engine. Without a lubricant in an engine, the engine gets hot. A team worker believes in being cooperative, caring, diplomatic, sensitive, avoids friction. He's a harmonizer, likes to believe in harmony. But the challenge of team worker is could be indecisive when faced with tough decisions, because any decision hurts some people, so how can I do that? Coordinator, team worker, research investigator, 3 social related cases. The last 3, we looked at the task, we looked at the team, now is the time to look at the thinking. The heart is over, the feet and legs, hands are over, it's a brain now. 3 different team roles under the thinking part. The plant, the bulb comes out with the ideas. The right brainer, a little more. Creative, imaginative, original, offers alternative approaches, can think out of the box completely, can turn the problem upside down. But preoccupied by thoughts, he is communicating within himself and may not be communicating. Somebody who could be lost in thoughts at all. The mind is churning something, cannot relate to people around, could be a bit absent-minded as well. The plant. But you need someone who uses the left brain and beautifully sorts out, hey, wait a minute, this idea is not a good idea. This is a good idea. Let me tell you why it's a good idea. Let me tell you why it's not a good idea. The logical monitor evaluator. The third eye, the unbiased eye. Logical, analytical, discerning, makes decisions based on facts. Plant is like a paintbrush on the office or Microsoft. Monitor evaluator is like an Excel. Needs facts. Wants things, no. He needs things. For him, need is more important than want. Can be a bit slow moving, appear to be, because he's analyzing, he's evaluating, he's assessing, but can lack drive and may appear uninspiring. He is like, she is like the hum on a highway which stops the speeding motorist. The monitor evaluator. The third guy is somebody who absorbs knowledge. Plant looks at options in a creative way. Monitor evaluator analyzes options in a logical way. A specialist absorbs knowledge from outside, reads the best practices, learns the best practices, and is available when you want him to share with his knowledge. Single-minded, motivated by the pursuit of knowledge, contributes on a narrow front because he's a little bit narrow in terms of focus, bit of a tunnel vision, dwells on technicalities, and therefore is a bit of a specialist. So you've got 9 types of team roles, 3 buckets, and the interesting thing I made a discovery is all of us have got all the 9 team roles. Each one of us in this room, each one of us in the world have got all the 9 team roles. But the interesting aspect is some are our preferred team roles, our natural inclination, our natural preference. It's like having breakfast. Oh, breakfast, I love dosas in the morning. I love my aloo parathas in the morning. My preferred team. Some are manageable team roles. I don't mind a pool. I don't mind some cereals. I don't mind maybe idlis in the morning. Some are manageable team roles. I can handle it. It is part of my preference, but not a high preference. It's okay for me to do that. Some are wait a minute. Don't ask me to eat fruits in the morning. Don't ask me to eat rice in the morning. So don't ask me to eat noodles in the morning. I can't do that. I would rather go starving. Some are least for keynotes. So some are bright colors, some are normal shades, some are very soft hues in the human fabric. So all of us have got all the theme roles. Some are preferred, some are manageable, and some are least for theme roles. But remember, our behavior is what we do. Simplest definition of behavior is what you say and what you do. We are what we repeatedly do. All of us observe the behaviors. We observe others' behavior, and we can spot the repetitive behavior. We can also spot the one-off behavior. You know, sometimes in the office, the boss is normally very, very, demanding and a little bit speaks very loudly, can be impatient. Suddenly, one day in a meeting, the boss is rather quiet, a little patient. I'm sure a couple of people are having a quiet conversation on the side. What happened to him today? He's rather quiet. Something is going wrong. I don't know what's happening. So we can also spot one-off behavior. So we are what we repeatedly do. So Dr. Belbin's discovery of 9 team roles, the presence of 9 team roles in all affairs, some are preferred team roles, some are manageable, and some are least preferred team roles, gives a beautiful insight into the human behavior. So you have your people who have this. Some are very dominantly visible. Can I request you to take a few seconds and just send in your chats? Have you seen such people? How can you say, hey, I can spot a shaper in my team. I can spot a monitor evaluator in my team. Oh, here's an implementer I can see. I can see his behavior. Can you tell me, do you notice such people in your teams? Have you come across? Take about 10 seconds and send in your messages in the chat box. Another right. Every day, every time. Absolutely another, you are right. Some more. I want to have some more people to chat. You're getting into a powerful concept here. It's amazingly powerful. Some more people to send in some chat, please. Some more time, some more seconds.
Vijay says yes. Dilip Kumar says yes.
Yes.
Vijay, Dilip.
Okay, Vijay, Dilip, a lot of them are saying yes. Fantastic. Yes, Karthik did as well. Yes, that's pretty earlier.
Srinivas is saying yes.
Yes, absolutely. And remember,
Yes.
understand human behavior, we can work with people very well. If we can understand, we can always get into great analysis. I think Karthik, right, you've got teamwork as a completer finisher. That's very nice, Karthik. Many times I always believe that if there's a completer finisher in your team, you can sleep in peace to have that particular job done immaculately. And I have a lovely secretary with me who is a completer finisher for 28 years. I've never seen a better one. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So we see them. And we see behavior all the time. We don't have to worry about why people are different. We don't have to worry about it. But we have to accept that people are different. People will always be different, and the beauty of the world is people are different. Now, how can a leader, therefore, get the best out of people? BELBIN for leadership. I'm going to give you some nuggets of wisdom, some nuggets of thoughts for you, which you can eminently implement in your own thinking process. So, BELBIN for leadership. If you look at leadership, as we grow, there are 3 levels of skills which are very important. At the start level in an organization, at the junior level, it is the technical skills, the functional skills. Depends on whatever job you do, it doesn't matter. I heard the word technical, when I use the word technical, for example, even a salesperson, it is sales technique. So technical skills are important at any level to start with. As we grow higher, we require conceptual skills. Yes, another way is domain. Absolutely right, another way. Domain is partly knowledge, partly skills also. You are right. Technical skills. Conceptual skills. Ability to visualize a concept. Ability to see the bigger picture. Ability to connect various things. Ability to look at ideas in a broader frame. Conceptual skills. As we grow, we are looked for the conceptual skills. As we go higher, you have a lot of bright technical people with you, skilled people. You've got people that get techniques below you. You've got great guys with conceptual skills below you. What you need is people skills. So as you grow higher, it's about people skills. And look at the interesting picture here. You get a beautiful insight. Technical skills is more concrete. Conceptual skills is partly concrete, partly abstract. People skills is abstract. And the more abstract it is, and the more difficult to manage, but the beauty is that the more abstract it is, the more enjoyable to handle it very well, and the learning can be constantly there every single moment. That's the people skill. Magic discovery has given us a little bit of a reduction, if I use the word, in the abstract element. If it is too abstract, I'm not able to visualize. The 9 team roles, the buckets of 333 has given me a framework, say, aha, this is how people are. Therefore, if I understand it, I can handle them very well. I can get the best out of them. So that's all about people skills. Getting the best out of people. Remember, as leaders, we are all here to maximize the performance of people. As a good old biblical saying, the Hindu scripture talks, Islam talks, every scripture talks, treat other people as you would like to be treated. It's a lovely statement, ethically right. I want to be treated honestly, therefore I will be honest to people. So from an ethical angle, principle angle, value system angle, it is amazingly powerful statement. We must continue to practice it in all our fundamental aspects of life. Treat other people as you'd like to be treated. But this particular statement has an inbuilt assumption, and that assumption may not always be true. So can I request you to send in your chat boxes what could be that assumption which may make this statement not 100% right? What could be the assumption? 10 seconds for the chat. You can send the answers to everyone else then. That's the best way to share. What could be the assumption which may not be true, and therefore the statement may not be true? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Can you say one fundamental assumption is treat other people as you'd like to be treated? Probably means
You don't know how they want to be treated.
absolutely. Thank you, Bula. You say we don't know how they want to be treated. That's amazing. Very smart answer. I'll tell you why. Another way says perception of how this is viewed. We don't know that. Very true. And the biggest assumption under this is other people are also like me. I am like A, other people are also like me. So everybody is like me. But that is not true. Everybody is not like me. They're different. Therefore, if the statement has to be changed a little bit, just one word, that's all. How will you change the statement? Let me get some text messages. Treat other people as you like to be treated. Slight modification of one word can make a huge new perception. Perspective, actually.
The way they would like to be treated.
Absolutely. Who is the lovely voice? Subodh, is it?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Treat other people as they would like to be treated. Absolutely. And we don't know that. And Beulah said we don't know how they would like to be treated. And that is where what I told you in part 1 is understanding the 19 roles. If I look at people's behavior, I know the shaper, I know the resource investigator, I can see the implementer, I can see the monitor evaluator. So treat other people as they would like to be treated. This is where the discovery of Meredith, thank you Anandra, you said they, fantastic. That's where the power of BELBIN for leadership comes. As a leader, I can't expect others to be like me. In fact, I don't have to expect others to be like me. In fact, I don't need others to be like me. How do I know? That's where the BELBIN team roles come. Therefore, the fundamental principle on a practical day-to-day angle is, yes, from a real principle angle, ethical angle, moral angle, treat other people as like to be treated. But in the organizational work life, treat them as they would like to be treated because you need to know how they are. Therefore, if you look at this, a leadership is a combination of three real things. You have task or action. A leader is expected to produce a task. People are required to do a task and achieve a goal. People are required to work with people, team or social. People are required to think individual. And you're seeing those 9 team roles beautifully bucketed under each one of these 3. The beauty is the people you report, the people reporting to you, the people who work with you, they are not equal on all the 3. Their preferences may be little more in one and little less in one. It does not mean they don't have the capability, but it's a preference. And if I inherit the preference of people, if we can harness the preferences of people, if we can build a collective way of working, a leader gets the best out of people. Because there are 4 things very important for a leader to get the best out of people. Number 1, right person for the right task. Ask a resource investigator to write a detailed report. You can wait for 1 year, nothing will happen. Ask a computer finisher not to worry about quality. It's okay, you have done quite well. Don't have to be perfect. He is more worried because at least I thought there's one man in this group is worried, even I should not be worried. Ask an implementer to come out with an out-of-the-box crazy idea. He can't even do that. Look at people for the task. Right person for the right task, not only from a qualification angle, from a natural inclination angle. If you can understand those 19 roles, if you can get your people on that, if you can work with them nicely, the right person for the right task. Communicating to people. 80% of the time, as leaders, we communicate. Call a plant who is right brain oriented and ask him to be very brief is impossible. Ask a monitor evaluator and tell him, you must be very enthusiastic. He is worried because a monitor evaluator's thinking process is considered thought, cannot be just jumping with joy. How they communicate an idea, how they communicate a task, how they communicate what you need to do. You call a monitor evaluator, sit with him, take a piece of paper, structure your thoughts and explain to him. He goes back and says, wow, I'm going to do this well. He requires a structure. He requires a framework. If a person is good in something, the ability of a great leader to enhance it, make better the best in that, make best in that the very best in that. If we understand team roles, we can enhance the effectiveness of people. Finally, everybody cannot be a forward in a football. The Euro is on now. Everybody cannot be a back. Some are midfields. But everybody has a fantastic role to play. Therefore, a great ability of a leader is to complement. If you've got something missing, it does not mean you're wrong. It doesn't mean you're bad. I can compliment you on that, and you can compliment me. 4 things make a high performance. Right person for right task, communicating, enhancing, and complementing. For all these things, the leader must be aware of what are his own team roles. What are his natural preferences? Is he imposing his preferences on other people? Is he willing to complement? Is he giving the right person the right task? Is he communicating appropriately to the other person? Because if communication goes wrong, it is largely the fault of the sender. And how does he enhance the best to become the very best? And how does he complement or she complements? The self-awareness, and application of BELBIN Team Rules. If you want to get best out of people, unleash the potential. Identify the natural talents and attributes. Very important. Spot them. Nurture them. Develop these talents rather than dwelling on shortcomings all the time. Generally, our feedback is always on what you are not good at and not what you're good at. Develop these talents. Make them grow. Make them blossom. Wherever possible, reshape jobs to align the job demands with natural talents. If the job and the natural talent and the preferences are a perfect fit, you've got a guy who is walking in the morning in the office with a spring in the air and is going to get a great output. Yes, we all have our least preferred team roles. Sometimes we have to do that. But if my least preference becomes the biggest part of my job, I'm not going to enjoy it. That is where a leader's responsibility lies. 7 guidelines for effective leaders. People are different, friends. 9 team roles. People are different. Respect diversity. You can't have a jigsaw puzzle with the same shapes all the time. One shape across. No. People are different. That's beautiful, in fact. People are people. What are the designations? The person is not a robo still. I don't know, maybe 20 years from now, robots will be working. Even in the marketplace, I'll see a robo walking on a Bangalore street or Chennai street or Mumbai street. Understand people as people. Powerful. We can be effective with people with whom we are incompatible if we understand and complement each other. The aggressive forward and the solid back, they understand, can make sure that the ball never goes to competition and we score the goal. But many times, we find difficult to work with people who are different from us. It's good to have incompatibility in the way of working, then you can complement wonderfully. When you communicate, adapt your style to your communicating. A leader adapts to these people. People cannot adapt to a leader. People will follow a leader. People will be inspired by a leader. People will do what a leader wants, but a leader adapts to people to get the best out of people. Look at strengths, sharpen them. Make the best the very best. Help the people to be the best of what they are and what they can be. And then you have a fantastic team, set of people working with you. People and tasks constantly try to match as much as you can. And if you do all that, even some tasks they are not comfortable they will do because you are giving them many things they are naturally comfortable and competent and preferring to do. So a little bit of lack of preference will also work, but otherwise it becomes boring. Remember, nobody is perfect. None of us in this webinar is a perfect individual. None of us in the world is perfect. But a relationship between two people who are different, who can complement, can be absolutely perfect. Nobody is perfect, but a relationship between two can be perfect. Marriage fundamental philosophy. Nobody is perfect. Don't get perfect individuals. It's a lifetime journey. We'll probably never do, but a team can be perfect. That's BELBIN for leadership. This, we will send you this, we will upload this at the right time. We will also send you this slideshow, and you can read it, and you can use it, and you're most welcome to write to me, which is just ravi@cert-india.com. I'll send you the email as well, and it will be lovely to do all these things. Another requires a lot of courage and hard work, but works in the long run. Absolutely true. And think about another everything requires courage and hard work, and that's what makes a great leader. And that makes wonderful. At some stage, a leader is not even required if he does it so well, because he's gone on to some other place to build some more people. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts, most welcome to text now.
Thank you, Ravi. This was really a very great session, and we enjoyed it, and it was a lot of learning as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.